In the world of technology, some empires are built by design. Others, well, they rise from a simple need, a moment of deep frustration. This is the story of how one programmer's side project didn't just solve a small problem, it accidentally redrew the entire map of global commerce.
It's the story of a company that, honestly, was never supposed to exist. It was born from a passion that had absolutely nothing to do with business software. So, let's get into it. Our story doesn't begin in some Silicon Valley garage or a high-tech boardroom. No, it starts on the snowy slopes of Canada with a really annoying problem. See, back in 2004, the internet felt like this wild frontier, but for small entrepreneurs, it was more like a fortress. E-commerce was just a world of clunky, super expensive, and way too complex software. If you wanted to build an online store, you basically had to move mountains just to get started. It was a game pretty much reserved for the giants.
This is where three friends come in, all united by a serious love for snowboarding. Their goal was pretty simple: sell their own line of snowboards online under a cool brand name, Snowdevil. But when they started looking for a platform to build their store on, they just hit a wall. Nothing out there was simple or clean or elegant enough. The tools they actually needed, they just didn't exist.
So Tobias Lütke, who happened to be a gifted programmer, did what any frustrated creator would do. He said, "Fine, I'll build it myself." And you gotta understand, this wasn't a business plan. It was a passion project, a tool built for one reason, and one reason only: to sell a few snowboards.
And right there, that's when a small decision, made purely out of necessity, started to snowball into something completely unexpected.
This moment is just seared into his memory. He's sitting in a coffee shop, and an email notification pops up. A complete stranger in Pennsylvania had just bought one of their snowboards. And in that instant, the project wasn't just code anymore. It was a real business. Lütke wasn't just a builder, he was an entrepreneur. That single cha-ching sound was a total revelation.
Pretty soon, other online retailers started noticing the really elegant, custom-built Snowdevil store, and they started asking questions. Hey, who built this? Can we use it? And so the founders were faced with this massive question. They'd solved their own problem, sure, but what if they had unknowingly solved a much, much bigger one for everybody else?
So in 2006, they made the pivot. The snowboard store became a software company, and they named it Shopify. Its core mission wasn't just to sell a product. No, it was to recreate that incredible, life-changing feeling of making your very first sale for anyone, anywhere. And the innovation came fast. In 2009, inspired by Apple's brand new App Store, Shopify launched its own. This was, frankly, a stroke of genius. It completely unlocked the platform, letting a global community of developers build any custom tool you can imagine. Then, in 2010, they put the entire store right in your pocket with a mobile app. The key takeaway here is they weren't just building a store, they were building an entire ecosystem.
With these new tools, Shopify started to position itself not just as a platform, but as a kind of movement. The whole idea was to give the power of commerce back to the individual, to arm the small business rebels against the giant retail empires.
And the 2010s were just a whirlwind of explosive growth. Shopify Payments came along and streamlined the messy world of online transactions. Shopify Plus brought in huge brands like Heinz and Red Bull. And then, the ultimate validation. In 2015, after a hugely successful IPO, Amazon, yes, that Amazon, shut down its own competing service and officially pointed all of its merchants toward Shopify. The economic impact of all this has just been staggering. To date, merchants on Shopify have generated over $1.4 trillion in sales. I mean, think about that. This isn't just software, it's a global economic engine.
And all that growth, it translates into some serious market power. Right now, Shopify powers around 12% of all e-commerce in the United States. To put that in perspective, for every 10 online purchases you see, more than one of them is happening through a Shopify store. It has become a fundamental piece of the internet's infrastructure, sitting right behind giants like Amazon.
But behind all these massive numbers are millions of individual stories. Stories like Elle McCann. She started out as a graphic design student and launched a small wedding invitation business on Shopify way back in 2010. By leveraging the platform, she turned her skills into a web design agency, becoming one of the very first certified Shopify experts. Since then, she's built over 180 stores, created a successful YouTube channel, and grown a six-figure business, all of it on the back of the Shopify ecosystem. But here's the thing. Becoming a backbone of global commerce? Well, it comes with immense responsibility. And as Shopify grew, it was forced to confront the really complex, challenging questions that come with running a platform for literally millions of different voices.
And at the heart of it all is this really difficult balancing act. On one hand, CEO Tobias Lütke has consistently argued that Shopify is a neutral utility, sort of like a phone company, and that refusing service based on someone's beliefs would violate free speech. But on the other hand, critics and activist groups argue that this stance actually enables the spread of hate and misinformation, and they've called for boycotts, demanding accountability.
And this is not just a theoretical debate. The platform has faced intense public heat for hosting stores connected to the far-right organization Breitbart News, and for allowing sales by controversial figures like the anti-LGBT influencer Libs of TikTok. And in some of the most extreme cases, critics have pointed to merchants selling merchandise that engages in Holocaust denial. These controversies force this ongoing, very difficult conversation about the role and responsibility of tech platforms.
And yet through all of that, Shopify's core vision, it remains rooted right back in its accidental origin, this idea of democratizing commerce.
This quote from Lütke really captures the company's ultimate ambition. It's a vision of a world with more voices, not fewer. A world where entrepreneurship isn't limited to some select group, but is accessible to absolutely anyone with an idea and the courage to chase it.
And the result of that vision? It's a truly global force. Today, Shopify supports over 5.5 million merchants in more than 175 countries, with an app store that has ballooned to over 16,000 different applications. It really is a testament to how a solution for one person became a solution for millions.
From a simple snowboard store to a global commerce platform, the story of Shopify is this powerful reminder of how technology can reshape our world. But it also leaves us with a critical question for the future. In this new landscape, where the tools to build an empire are available to just about everyone, the debate over who sets the rules and who truly holds the power is really just beginning.